Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have significant Taurus placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Taurus, just to get started, I haven't pulled any cards yet, but I'm very strongly getting this energy of like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for you. And I'm not sure if you are Charlie, the character of Charlie, or if you are Willy Wonka, because I feel like there's a little bit of both. Because so if you're dealing with another person, for example, there's this energy here of like you can see that person's inner child, and the adult aspect of you is perhaps nurturing that inner child or something like that, and vice versa is happening where the other person, who I'm assuming is an adult as well, like I feel like it, so you may be dealing with an actual child for some of you, like nurturing an actual child, but it doesn't have to be that. It could also be like if you're dealing with another adult, which I assume there's that kind of energy as well. That person, like you can see their inner child, and that person can also see your inner child, and their adult aspect is nurturing your inner child. So it kind of feels like there's a bit of both where there's this energy here of like being nurtured by another person, right? Like an aspect of yourself is being nurtured by another person, and you are nurturing another as well. There's this like reciprocity that's coming in. Anyways, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I used to love those books by that by the author Roald Dahl. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, but anyways, there's like 3 books in particular that are coming in. More actually, but anyways, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, James and the Giant Peach, and George's Marvelous Medicine, and the BFG are also coming through. Big Friendly Giant. Interesting. So I don't know. Maybe there are messages in there in those books for you. But the words that were coming through were like whimsy. Whimsy is really like being highlighted, like whimsical, right? There's a bit of whimsy in your energy right now, because it could be that you are, if it's not like you're dealing with another person, it could just be like you're exploring something that brings more whimsy into your life in some way, brings more magic, brings a bit more like fantasy or playfulness. But anyways, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I keep getting distracted. There's so much energy coming through. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So maybe there's something of like a childhood dream or wish coming true. But there's this energy here for you, Taurus, where if you are in the Charlie energy, the Charlie character, he is one who grew up with not a lot, right? So very humble, very modest. But there's something about his spirit, right? Where it feels like there's something about maybe something that you feel that you can't have or that you don't deserve because of that energy of like you didn't grow up with having that energy. Like it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to relate to money necessarily, or like it could be in terms of relationships, like feeling like you don't deserve to have certain experiences because of past energies of lack of not having that when you grew up or something like that. So there could be a little bit of that happening. And there's also this energy of if you are resonating in the Willy Wonka energy, where it's like you're seeing someone else as a Charlie energy, where it's like they, because of that energy that they're in, that they grew up with not having a lot, they don't expect a lot of things, they're not demanding, because the other children in that story are sort of like spoiled, or they want too much, or they're greedy, or they like are very entitled, like that kind of thing. There's somebody that you're seeing as being someone who is not that. And so because they are not that, that is why they deserve it the most, right? There's something about that coming through. This could also be just you in conversation with your own inner child, right? Keeping that in mind, this could also just be like you reflecting on your own inner child and like nurturing that aspect and all of that, and like telling yourself that you deserve this, right? Like that kind of energy is coming through for you, Taurus. There may also be concern about, quote unquote, the other children, because there's this energy here of like, of course, Charlie in the story, we as readers can see that Charlie, of course, is going to be the one who's chosen, but Charlie in the story doesn't know that, right? He doesn't even know that there's a competition happening, that like, you know, whoever survives the end of this trip is going to be the one who inherits the factory, right? But there's something here about like Charlie doesn't know that. Charlie is oblivious to like all of those things happening, and it's kind of like the factory weeds out the good from the bad, right? There's something about that as well. Interesting, where there's like a set of circumstances maybe, or things that are just happening in I feel like it has something to do with like planetary alignments and things like that. Specifically, Pluto is coming through really strongly, where the bad eggs are being sorted out is how it's coming through. It's kind of like some, I don't know, Taurus, for you. Something's changing where it's like, I'm getting like a selection process, but if you are in the position of Charlie, you don't know that this is happening. If you were in the position of Willy Wonka, you're like, I know what's happening, but perhaps there's something about like, just waiting for the factory, the universe, to sort of sort things out as they will, right? That's how it's coming through. So, anyways, I'm going to leave that message there. I knew this card was going to come out. That's why I picked this deck, because the golden ticket, right? Gold. You're gold. Okay. Taurus, I knew this card was going to come out. It would, because like I was seeing it before I pulled this deck out. Anyways, because it's so interesting. It talks about value, right? Value, what it is that you value. And it's not about monetary value, right? It's about philosophical gold. What it is that you value, what you treasure, so to speak. And there's something about like a person's character that's really coming in here that you value. It could be like things where you value things in other people, or you're finding things about yourself that you really value, and that's being reflected in sort of like the relationships that you have, is how it's coming through. Because I was being like, the specific character that was being highlighted for you in this reading is the character of Veruca Salt. So she's like this an heiress basically, and the way that she got her golden ticket was like her father's factory, right? They employed all of the workers to like buy out all the chocolate to find a golden ticket, right? So there's something here about like it's coming through kind of with a little bit of like somebody who is feeling entitled to something, right? Like that kind of energy. But at the same time for you, because there's a line here that is being there's a line of this feeling of being entitled to something, right? Versus one where it's like, it's part of their destiny, right? It's kind of coming through like the difference between that. It is a fine line, is how it's feeling, because you could say that there's somebody who's born into privilege, for example. It could be part of their destiny to keep that privilege. For example, I don't know. There's something about that that's coming through. The factory will sort it out is how it's feeling to me. It's how it's feeling to me is like the factory, which is coming through as a metaphor for the universe, right? The world will sort it out. It will be sorted out is how it's coming through. So trust in your gold. I'm not even going to pull any more cards for you, Taurus. From this deck, I mean. I'm going to pull more cards from the Alchemy elementals, which I've been using. The bad eggs will be sorted out, especially if there's any energies around you at the moment that are trying to take something that does not belong to them, or trying to take more than they need. It'll be sorted out, so don't worry about it too much. Don't worry about it too much. This destiny is yours, is what it's coming through with, what I'm hearing for you. Yeah, okay. Land, mountain, and moon. Now my hands are shaking. It feels very big. It does feel very big. But I feel like there is this aspect here, Taurus, of like the part of the anyways, I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't even want to delve into that a bit more, because it's almost like it'll be overwhelming if we do that. So it's kind of like be patient with how things unfold. Okay. Land, mountain, moon. This is a card about feminine energy, of being in your feminine energy, which is interesting, because that's this is so because Taurus, you are the fixed earth sign, right? So land and mountain is really coming through very strongly. To be in your feminine energy of receiving. Be in an energy of receiving. So there's something, okay, because it is wanting to talk a little bit more about this gold energy. So, because there's something here about, well, what I value in Taurus energy. What I value in Taurus energy, for example, because I have Libra as my sun placement, and Libra and Taurus are both ruled by Venus, right? So we have that shared aspect. But something about Libra energy, for example, right, is we often talk about like Libra energy as like having trouble making decisions, where it's something where like, but I feel like that's not an accurate description of Libra energy. How I see Libra energy is that Libra will sit on the fence, right? If there's like a fence, right? The decision. Libra will sit on the fence for a really long time. Not quite making a decision either way, but they will sit on the fence and measure the pros and cons, right? Is this a good decision? Is this a bad decision? And that kind of energy for Libra. They will sit on the fence and measure, because you can't, that's how it's coming through as one perspective for you, Taurus. And Libra energy will, like, as soon as one thing sort of outweighs another, then the decision is made, right? Even if there are cons, if the pros outweigh the cons in some way, the decision will be made. I feel like that's how Libras operate, just from my experience. But for you, Taurus, it comes through a little bit differently because you are fixed earth, right? It takes a lot of energy to move a Taurus, right? That's how it's coming through. It takes a lot of energy to move a Taurus. So instead of Taurus being on the fence, as a Libra does, Taurus will sit on one side of the fence, usually whichever side is the most strong for them, right? They'll sit on one side of the fence, and even if something's trying to move them, like a new decision, they will wait and wait and wait until the pros significantly outweigh the cons, or that there's no cons at all, or that you're like a Taurus won't move until they're sure about it. That is part of your gold, Taurus. Which is, I'm laughing because I have an Aries moon, so even though my Libra aspect is like, okay, let's balance, let's be stable about this, my Aries aspect goes, let's go right now, let's do this. As soon as there's something that's a pro, it's like, yes, that's a yes. Your goal is not to do that, Taurus. Your goal is to like be patient and wait until enough pros significantly outweigh any potential cons that there might be, right? That's part of your gold. I don't know why that's coming through for you, Taurus, but it is highlighting like part of your gold is to wait, is to be patient. And it's not about like, because it doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel like waiting impatiently. It actually feels like waiting to see what the best course of action is. And it's like, I feel like that's the guidance for you. Whatever it is, it's like waiting to see what the best course of action is. Because eventually the bad options will weed themselves out, right? If it's, the bad options will weed out, is how it's coming through. Will be weeded out by circumstances that are outside of your control, of course. But there's excitement here for you, Taurus, because I feel like on some level, you already know what the outcome will be. Okay, so interesting. You have another mountain card. So you have land, mountain, and star, and then water, ocean, earth. This is the first time this card has come out, so I'm definitely going to read that, but I'm going to read this mountain card. This card came out in the Virgo reading that I last did, but I feel like for you there may be a message in the next Virgo reading, which is the next one in the list. Okay. So, the compilation of the energies that have carried you through the initiations you have already endured. It should be, this is a compilation of the energies that have carried you through the initiations you have already endured, the lessons you've learned, the obstacles you've overcome, and they're forming a powerful and mighty toolkit that will support you through future challenges. When you take inventory of all the things you've made it through, you will realize that the courage, the strength, and the resourcefulness that supported you through those difficult times are still with you now. The tools you've gathered from the difficulties of the past serve as armor that protects you and as tools that will allow you to navigate the unknown that lies before you now. When you choose, remember to call forth the tools and the gifts that carried you through those hardships and those experiences as you face the challenges that are heading your way. Instead of reacting in fear and confusion, then you will triumph over yet another soul initiation like the lit leader that you are. Yeah, this is because you have mountain twice. Part of your guidance is to remain steady, right? To stay steady, stay true. Because I feel like there is some sort of like change or events that are happening maybe that are not in your control. I feel like they're almost like not even having to do with you is how it's coming through. But it is revealing a path for you. It's almost like there's some sort of obstacle that's being removed. But I feel like on some level, Taurus, you didn't even know that it was an obstacle yet. Because it's like because it's like, we're going to keep with this fence metaphor. Like, you're on one side of the fence. Something's happening on the other side of the fence where there's an obstacle being removed, but since you haven't even crossed the fence yet, it wasn't your problem, right? It wasn't something that you needed to be worried about because you hadn't crossed the fence yet. So it's something like something on the other side of the fence is being cleared out in some way. I don't think you've made the decision yet, or I don't think you're aware of this threshold is how it's coming through. I don't think you're aware of the threshold, if that makes sense. Interesting. Okay. It's time to give your ancestral line a reboot. Rewrite your family story. Reroute the ripples your ancestor created. Am I allowed to do that, you ask? Of course. You are a reality creator. That's why you came here, remember? You not only have the ability to shift the narratives that are running through your bloodline, you have a responsibility to do so. Embark upon this task with love and respect, of course, while honoring the stories that got you here. But for God's sake, don't keep recreating the same old if it's not serving your highest joy. Take it upon yourself to transmute and transform anything that is hindering your growth and happiness, and that includes your ancestral narratives. It's time to let go of the past and to craft new stories that will allow you to realize your greatness and to inspire others to do the same. Yeah, Taurus, interesting. Because there's this energy of, again, with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, right? Like his ancestral line was one of poverty and lack. Like they didn't have a lot when he was growing up. But in inheriting the factory, became one of the most rich people. Like so it doesn't have to do with money. Although I feel like it's an energy of lack is how it's coming through. An energy of lack in whatever area of your life this resonates with. An ancestral energy of lack that I feel like you're shifting out of, right? You're about to shift out of that and cross this threshold, but there's something going on the other side of the threshold is how it's coming through that you're not aware of. I feel like you're not aware of it. It's because it's like something like Willy Wonka has been secretly plotting in the best way possible. Like you don't know that Willy Wonka is giving up his factory, right? Like it's that kind of energy. So it's kind of just like, keep going with what it is that you've been doing, Taurus. I feel like there is going to be some sort of understanding about if there has been like a lack of clarity, right? Or not a lot of movement in a particular direction. It's because I feel like you've been protected from something. The fence is coming in as being almost like a protection energy. Like, maybe there's been something, I don't think that fence is yours. It might be, but I don't think the fence is yours. I think somebody put up a fence to protect you from moving forward, Taurus, in a particular path that you've been on. Okay, you've been prevented from crossing this fence, this threshold, in order to protect you because there's something going on the other side that you're not seeing yet or that you're not aware of yet. You will be, though, in a minute. It feels like quick, like soon. Okay, interesting. There's an energy of like whatever's on the other side of the fence has also been trying to protect themselves, right? Like, again, if we're continuing with the metaphor of Willy Wonka, it wouldn't be beneficial for Willy Wonka to announce that he's searching for someone to take over the factory. For example, it wouldn't be beneficial to that person or to anybody, to Willy Wonka especially, to announce that, right? So there's part of this energy of like the golden ticket metaphor of like, okay, here's this like I don't think he was even giving up the factory. It was that he wanted some new energy to come in. I don't think he was giving it up. Anyway, Doesn't matter, Taurus. Maybe there's something in there for you. But anyway, Willy Wonka was searching for a collaborator. Let's just phrase it like that. Was searching for a collaborator, but he didn't announce that because it wouldn't be beneficial to the situation to announce that. So the golden ticket ruse, it's what's coming through, is coming through as being like a way to weed out the potential, like, oh, I don't know. There's something here about like an opportunity that is masked. It's an opportunity that is masked as something else. Very interesting, Taurus. It's an opportunity that's masked as something else. So it's kind of like you don't even know that this opportunity is on the table because it's not. On the surface level, it's not. Interesting. Because it's almost like part of the criteria for this opportunity is humility is what's coming through. Or like somebody who I don't know, it's somebody who like has this particular goal, Taurus, whatever that is for you. It might not be exactly that, but it could be. The last Taurus reading that I did was so emotional. I'm feeling that here as well, but it's more like joy, like joy and whimsy and just like giddiness is what's coming through, like a giddiness. It's so like because there's that scene as well in that story of like him and his grandpa Joe like take like this like fizzy pop that makes them float up. That's how it's feeling for you, Taurus. So there may be, it's coming, you have all this grounded energy, right? To like ground it, because I feel like there's a giddiness that can like pull you up is how it's feeling. Interesting. I feel like I just have to take a couple of deep breaths. There's also this energy of like healing. Like so healing a generational perhaps trauma is how it's coming through. Because this deck is very heavily ancestor focused. There's a lot of mention of ancestors, but usually it comes through as being like connecting with the ancestors, right? In this case, I feel like you are rewriting an ancestral narrative that has to do with lack. It feels like it doesn't necessarily have to be money, right? It feels like there could be a lack in any area of your life that you're healing is how it's coming through. A significant shift, it feels like, and what you have all the tools that you need in order to do this. You have everything that you need in order to do this. Your past success and overcoming past challenges is going to assure that you also overcome whatever challenge it is that you're facing. Because I'm seeing you almost as like right in front of the fence, right about to cross a threshold. But there's something about like you're not seeing it like that. You're not seeing it like it's like you're about to step into this opportunity. That's not how you're seeing it. And I feel like that's part of the reason why you are being chosen, so to speak, is because you don't see it like that. Because there's something here about like an opportunist, right? Like somebody who sees an opportunity and will grasp at it. You're not like that is how it's coming through. Where it's like you almost like don't even see the opportunities. I don't know why it's coming through like this, Taurus, because I feel like it's something that you don't like about yourself, or something where it's like, it may be something about like a shadow energy where it's like you feel that you don't deserve this, or you feel that you, like it's coming through like that, like this energy of lack, but that is precisely the reason why you do. That's how it's feeling. It's precisely the reason why you do deserve it. At least in Willy Wonka's eyes, right? That's how he sees it. It's like because you don't ask for a lot, because you don't take more than you need, because you're not greedy, which means you deserve to have all of the riches, right? That's how it's coming through. Okay. Lots of land cards. So you have land, tree, and earth. The oak tree to me represents strength. Every seed we plant becomes a part of us, just as we become part of it. To understand the growth process and the care, the nurturing, and the attention it requires, there is nothing quite as effective as the process of planting a seed and caring for it as it grows. When we plant the seeds, we step into the role of nurturer. As nurturers, we must cultivate the patience to water the seed and to care for the seed. We must make sure that it receives the right amount of sunlight as it grows so that it can be strong and sturdy and well nourished. Caring for the seeds we plant teaches us how to care for ourselves and how to care for our planet, because it attunes us to the daily care and subtle shifts necessary for each plant to thrive. Plant a seed and nurture it like it's your most exquisite version of yourself, because it is. Okay, interesting. Have you planted a seed, or are you currently planting a seed? Maybe there's a bit of both. A seed is growing is how it's feeling. I feel like there's, because this is actually kind of coming through as being like, so the shadow, again, nothing to be afraid of. I feel like the shadow energy that's coming through for you is more like an aspect of yourself that experienced lack in whatever area of your life this resonates with. An aspect of yourself that experienced lack planted a seed a long time ago. About like, especially when you experience lack, that can create like intentions, right? If you experience poverty, for example, like I want to grow up to be rich, right? For example, or I want to grow up to not be in a state of poverty. If you grew up without like love or nurturing, you plant a seed. I wish to receive love and nurturing in the future. Like whatever it is for you, the experience of having lack planted some sort of seed that is now growing, and it's like nurturing that, nurturing that, tending to it. Because there's this energy here of like, again with the fence, right? Or if it's not a fence, it's kind of coming through as like a wall. So maybe it's like a wall. Like you don't, because you don't see it as being something that you can cross through, right? You're not seeing it as a threshold. It's not, that's the thing. Maybe it's masked as a wall when it's actually a threshold. Interesting, because you're not seeing it like a threshold is how it's coming through. So it's kind of like tending to your own seeds, minding your own business. Minding your own business, I feel like is a very positive Taurian trait, like minding your own business, right? Not wanting to get, not I don't know what this is. One second. Maybe you don't even know what it is yet, Taurus. Because it's again, it's almost feeling like, well, Charlie, for example, couldn't even imagine at that point in his life that he would be the one to inherit the factory, right? He couldn't even imagine that. It was so far out of his realm of possibility. There's something here about, like, it's outside of your realm of possibility. That's why you're not seeing it as a threshold. You're not seeing it as something that you can cross through, because it's so outside of your idea of what is possible for you. But it's growing. That's how it's coming through. I feel like this energy of, like, not believing in it. This is going to sound like contradictory or counterintuitive. The energy that you have of not believing something is possible is actually helping you. There was I had a professor at one point who told me, or not just me, but he told the class that, like, that the ones who end up succeeding are the ones who are, like, succeeding in that realm, right, of academia, like, of becoming, like, full-time tenured professors, or anything that's, like, very competitive, right? The ones who end up succeeding are the ones who have, like, no expectation of actually getting there, is actually how it's coming through. Which is, it's contradictory, because it's, like, it's how it goes against sort of, like, the rules of manifestation, which is, like, imagine that you are that, right? Imagine that you're there already. Imagine that you have it already. But it's almost like whatever this is feels like, in one particular area of your life, feels like the vibration of you believing that you don't deserve something, or believing that you can't have it, or it's so outside of your, like, realm of what's possible for you, that that is the exact environment that this thing comes in. I don't know how to explain it besides with, like, the metaphor of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I hope that that's enough to get across what energy I'm feeling for you. Another mountain card. Okay, so the way that this deck is organized, right? It's split up into, like, the elements, right? So land is earth, of course, air, fire, and water. And then each one is divided into, like, a specific aspect within the element. So mountain is one of them. And then there's 4 of each of these cards, right? Which go through, like, sun, star, moon, and earth. So you have 3 out of the 4 mountain cards. Like, your stability, Taurus, is your gold, of course. That's you, Taurus, your stability. Okay. Your path has been fruitful, and you have achieved success and amassed many blessings. But who is this success serving? Your vision, your light, and your gifts were bestowed upon you in order for you to serve others, not just yourself. Take some time to drop in and examine whom you are really serving. And once you figure that out, then ask yourself how you can amplify that service on behalf of others, and how many others your gift can serve. Sure, you can achieve some success and some happiness when you serve yourself, but when you align your path to be in service to the whole world, well, love, that's when your life gets giant. Interesting. Because this is an energy of giving. Because I feel like there's something here about like, again with Charlie, where I can't quite remember, but I think part of like when he tried to like get, like he bought a chocolate bar for himself, right? He bought a chocolate bar for himself and there was no golden ticket. But when he bought a chocolate bar for like his grandparents to share, his whole family to share, that's where the golden ticket was. So I feel like there's something here about like sharing your stability or sharing some aspect of your stability or whatever it is, even if you feel like that's what you don't have a lot of. It might not be stability for you, whatever it is. It's just coming through with a lot of mountain energy because it's kind of feeling like there's an area in your life where you feel that there is lack. Whatever that is for you. Might not be money, but it just feels like whatever it is for you, you will know what that is. And it's almost like the guidance for that is to give more in that area, because that's what will come back to you, right? That's how it's feeling to me. Maybe you are already doing that or you're considering that, because this energy here of this feeling of lack is something where you're being asked to give more from that area of lack is actually how it's coming through. I'm going to get another card because that almost feels that feels like there's resistance there, right? It feels that doesn't feel like because now I'm getting this image of the image of the Laum in the fairy deck, which talks about like if you're feeling stuck is to just give, right? To just give unconditionally, give without any expectation of return, and the universe will give what it is that you need, is how it's coming through. Okay, I'm going to get another card for that one. Because I almost feel like it wants to be put over here with the seed. Because the way that it's coming through for you, Taurus, is like almost like the mountain is giving a part of itself, right? With it, like the top of it is being removed. The mountain is giving a part of itself to somebody else in need, maybe. And the universe will answer that. That's how it's coming through. Like, because it's even something where, like, I don't know. It's a feeling of like giving something of yourself, even when you feel like you are lacking in that area. And that is returned to you. And I feel like there's this, like, again, a tricky line here of not giving because you expect somebody to return to you, right? Or you expect something to be returned to you. Because that is coming through with this energy of entitlement. Like, if I give to you, I expect you to give to me, right? But I don't feel that you're doing that, Taurus. I'm just saying that that's sort of an energy that may be, that you may be noticing around you, maybe, or something like that. So it's kind of coming through as being like, trying your best to give from a place of not expecting other people to, or not expecting return necessarily from that individual or something like that, because the universe will do that, right? It's like if you are in, I don't know where I'm going with this. The universe will give back to you, right? The universe will, in some way. It might not be from exactly the person that you have given to, but the universe will give back in whatever way that is. There's this energy here of like you're not seeing the source of what's giving to you. Because there is an opportunity here for you, Taurus, but you're not seeing it like that. I keep phrasing it like that. I don't know. It just keeps coming through like that. You're not seeing it as an opportunity. That's the point. That's the point. For example, right? For example, like somebody who's really rich, as an example, right? Like somebody who has a lot of status or money or whatever, going as disguise as someone who doesn't, right? To almost like to see who really treats them well. That's how it's coming through. That's an example, a metaphor. It's not exactly that, but it's kind of feeling like somebody or an opportunity that is in disguise as something else, as not what it is, in order to see who actually has the right, for lack of a better word, character or gold, in order to receive that. Because it's like, anyone can be kind to a rich person, right? That kind of thing. It takes a special sort of person to be kind to someone who's not. That's how it's feeling to me. That's as a metaphor. Interesting. So there's something about here, Taurus, that I feel like you have given to someone who, or something, or an opportunity you have given to an energy here that was disguised as being other than what they are. And because of that, you're being like rewarded for it, is how it's feeling to me. But again, it's the fact that you didn't know it was an opportunity that is what got you the opportunity, right? That's how it's feeling. So I feel like that's actually past for you, Taurus. That I feel like it's past for you. You've already done this. You've already given to this energy in the past. But, and like Willy Wonka, so to speak, knows that already. They already see that you're the one who's going to benefit from this. But it's kind of like the others have to be weeded out first. That's how it's feeling. Interesting. Okay. Fire, candle, earth, and fire, ancestor, fire, moon. Yeah, okay, because now this is looking like the glass elevator. The glass elevator in the second book, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. There's a glass elevator that goes up into space. Yeah. So this specifically talks about like your ancestors are trying to get your attention about something. But it is kind of feeling more like just more generally like your spirit team, your spirit guides, whatever it is that you, however you like to relate to that energy, whatever label you want to put there, are trying to get your attention about something. And this card talks about like being an inspiration to others. It feels kind of like, okay, whenever I get readings like this, which feel very big, I'm trying to bring this back down to earth, right? Because it's kind of like this feels big. This feels like being in a glass elevator that goes up to space. That's how it feels. But trying to bring that back down to earth a little bit with the fire, candle, moon. You're going to be inspiring others in some way, Taurus. I feel like you have already, but it's on like a next level kind of feeling, going up to the next level. I get one card for the middle. I feel like there is this very like creative, a very creative aspect that's coming through. Interesting. These two cards coming out together. That's really interesting. Okay, so water, river, sun, fire, wildfire, sun. Because I feel like there's something about receiving. You're going to receive something. Okay, Taurus, there's something here, because the way that these cards are coming out, these cards are, I wanted to pull for the middle, right? These cards that we've talked about already were at the bottom of this, are beneath these, right? So the way that I'm seeing this combination, because this talks about the toolkit that you have established, that you've gained from overcoming a challenge. I feel like this is a challenge from the past, something from the past that ultimately took from you is how it's coming through. It took from you. And because it took from you, it took something from you. I don't know what it is exactly. It took something from you, but that you've overcome that challenge. And it's like whatever is coming in right now is the universe's way of giving back to you because something had been taken from you from the past that you overcame, right? That's how it's feeling to me. But I feel like there's something here about like, you don't expect it. I feel like this reading is saying like, you should expect something to be returned to you, Taurus. Well, maybe you shouldn't, because that's not part of your gold. But anyways, I'm going to read this one because I feel like your guidance here is to be in an energy of receiving, of being in your feminine energy. You're going to receive something. Okay, we live in such a hustle-bustle culture, constantly busying ourselves with striving, working, and achieving, thinking we always have to be doing something to get to where we want to be. But expansion doesn't always come through action. In fact, real growth and authentic expansion manifest in the spaces in between the doing. It's time for a time out. Give yourself a reprieve from trying and doing and hustling and achieving. Take some time to chill and replenish your own energy. Rest in the stillness of yourself and cultivate all that you have been working to become in this timeless pause. You'll be surprised to discover how much expansion you can embody once you stop trying. Yeah. There's this energy here of you've overcome something significant. It's become part of your gold, and that gold is what's allowing you to receive something. It's so interesting because there's like a mountain triangle shape hidden in the water. You're not seeing it, Taurus. You will soon. I'm going to leave it there because we're way over time, but if this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.